Hello, and welcome to the virtual public meeting for proposed improvements to US 281 Military Highway from FM 732 to FM 1421 in Cameron County, Texas. My name is Octavio Sainz, representing the Texas Department of Transportation, or TxDOT. This virtual public meeting has been pre-recorded. Thank you for participating in this virtual public meeting. Public participation is important in the transportation planning process, and TxDOT appreciates your input on the proposed project. Given the unique circumstance of the COVID-19 outbreak, along with our commitment to protecting public health during this national emergency, TxDOT is conducting this public meeting virtually and providing an in-person option. All project information can be found on the TxDOT website at www.txdot.gov. Keyword search US 281 Military Highway. The information provided during this virtual public meeting and on the TxDOT website is the same information that will be provided during the in-person meeting option. Please note that the in-person meeting is being held on Thursday, April 8, 2021 from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the TxDOT San Benito area office by appointment only. For more information on how to schedule an appointment for the in-person meeting, call 956-702-6339 between the hours of 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. In recognition of COVID-19, enhanced safety measures will be applied at the in-person meeting option, including a requirement to wear a face mask, submit to a temperature check prior to entry, have an appointment, and follow social distancing practices. If anyone arrives without an appointment, they may be asked to wait outside to ensure we maintain appropriate occupancy within the meeting room. The proposed project is anticipated to be programmed with both state and federal funds. Because of this, TxDOT is required to assess the potential environmental effects of the proposed project in accordance with federal standards. The process that is followed is called the National Environmental Policy Act process, otherwise known as NEPA. The NEPA process provides analysis of the potential impacts to the natural and man-made environment and helps the decision maker to make an informed decision on whether to proceed with the project. On December 9, 2019, TxDOT received a signed memorandum of understanding from the Federal Highway Administration that permits TxDOT to assume responsibility from the Federal Highway Administration for reviewing and approving certain assigned NEPA projects. This review and approval process applies to this project. This virtual public meeting will include the following topics of discussion: the purpose of the public meeting, the project limits, the need for and purpose of the proposed improvements, a description of the proposed project, a description of the environmental studies being prepared, a description of the right-of-way acquisition process, the next steps in the project development, and how to provide comments. The purpose of this virtual public meeting is to encourage and maintain effective communication with the public and provide project-specific information as it relates to the US 281 Military Highway project in Cameron County. Your input and comments are an important part of this process, and we encourage you to provide comments on this project. As I mentioned earlier, your continued participation throughout the planning and development of this project is very important. You are encouraged to talk to your neighbors and refer them to TxDOT so that they can make comments and be included in this process. This project is in Cameron County and traverses the limits of Brownsville, San Pedro, Encantada, Ranchito El Calaboz, and La Paloma. The project is located just south of the limits of San Benito and crosses portions of the lower Rio Grande Valley National Wildlife Refuge. The proposed project would reconstruct and widen US 281 Military Highway from approximately 0.3 miles west of FM 732 to 0.18 miles west of FM 1421 from a 2-lane to a 4-lane rural highway with a left turn lane and shoulders. The project is approximately 5.8 miles in length, and the estimated construction cost is approximately $24.5 million. The proposed project will be constructed in phases. The approximate limits of the first phase are from FM 1421 to FM 1577, and the limits of the second phase are from FM 1577 to FM 732. The map included on this slide shows the general vicinity of the proposed project. As the population of the project area and surrounding region have continued to increase, so have traffic volumes and resulting congestion. In turn, mobility along this stretch of US 281 as well as the operational efficiency of the roadway have decreased. The purpose of the project is to improve mobility and increase operational efficiency by constructing additional travel lanes and making operational improvements, such as constructing left turn lanes and shoulders. The proposed project would also help to ensure the capacity of US 281, which serves as a designated hurricane evacuation route, and ensures that it's sufficient to support fleeing residents and associated emergency services during extreme weather events. The proposed project would reconstruct and widen the existing 2-lane roadway to a 4-lane rural highway with two 12-foot travel lanes in each direction. A 14-foot left turn lane will be constructed at various locations within the project limits, and 8-foot shoulders will be constructed along both sides of the roadway. The project would also include construction of wildlife crossings adjacent to the Lower Rio Grande Valley National Wildlife Refuge. The improvements will be constructed within a proposed right-of-way that would vary from 121 to 146 feet in width and would require approximately 3.1 acres of new right-of-way. Drainage within the project area would be a roadside open ditch with equalizer culverts beneath the roadway. The equalizer culverts would help to maintain a balance of water on either side of the roadway and prevent overflow onto the roadway. Since the proposed project would utilize state and federal funds, it is required to adhere to the National Environmental Policy Act. NEPA requires analysis of potential impacts to the human and natural environment as a result of the proposed project. As part of the environmental process, technical analyses are being completed to document those potential environmental impacts of the proposed project. The resource categories under study include the following: biological resources, including threatened and endangered species and their habitats; water resources, including waters of the U.S. and wetlands; cultural resources, including historic and archaeological resources; hazardous materials; traffic noise; community resources; air quality; and parklands protected under Section 4F of the Department of Transportation Act. The results of these studies will be available once the analyses are completed. The proposed project is expected to be processed as an open-ended D-list categorical exclusion. All environmental documentation will be developed in accordance with NEPA, TxDOT, and FHWA standards. The technical reports will be available for download on the TxDOT website once completed at www.txdot.gov. Keyword search: US 281 Military Highway. The proposed project would require approximately 3.1 acres of new right-of-way. Potential displacements include 2 outbuildings or carports and 2 commercial structures. No residential displacements are anticipated because of the proposed improvements. Also, the proposed project is expected to require a U.S. Army Corps of Engineers Section 404 permit with a pre-construction notification. The proposed project would require the acquisition of approximately 0.07 acres of right-of-way from Don Jose Esparza Park. The right-of-way to be acquired is located adjacent to the existing right-of-way of US 281. No recreational structures associated with the park would be impacted. This small community park is maintained by Cameron County and is located at the intersection of FM 1577 with US 281. TxDOT anticipates making a de minimis determination under Section 4F of the Department of Transportation Act of 1966 regarding the impacts of the project on the park property. A Section 4F de minimis finding means that the proposed project would not adversely affect the activities, features, or attributes that qualify the park for protection under Section 4F. Cameron County and TxDOT will consider comments received during the environmental process before making a final Section 4F de minimis determination. Public comments on the effects of the proposed project on the activities, features, or attributes of Don Jose Esparza Park may be submitted as described at the end of this presentation. Property acquisitions will follow federal and state laws and policies. The Uniform Relocation Assistance and Real Property Acquisitions Policy Act of 1970, or the Uniform Act, is a federal law that is followed for appraisals, negotiations, and relocation of families or businesses. Right-of-way brochures are available on the TxDOT website. Information about the benefits, services, and right-of-way acquisition schedule can be obtained by calling the TxDOT District Office at 956-702-6287. The schematic for both phases of the project was completed in summer of 2020. Currently, TxDOT is conducting the environmental documentation and public involvement processes for both phases in compliance with NEPA. Public involvement will continue throughout the environmental documentation process, and environmental clearance for both phases is expected in summer of 2022. Final design for the first phase of the project from FM 1421 to FM 1577 is expected to be completed in spring 2023, followed by right-of-way acquisition and utilities coordination in spring 2027. The first phase will let or be open to contractors for bidding in summer 2027, and construction is expected to begin in fall of 2027. The schedule for the second phase of the project from FM 1577 to FM 732 will follow the same process from final design through the beginning of construction, the dates of which are still to be determined. Written comments from the public regarding the proposed project are requested and may be submitted via email to atidio.garza@txdot.gov or via mail by filling out a comment card available on the project website and sending it to TxDOT FAR District Office, attention FAR District Engineer, 600 West Interstate 2, FAR, Texas 78577. You can also return a comment card via email to atidio.garza@txdot.gov. Verbal comments can also be submitted by calling 956-275-1010 to leave a voicemail. All comments must be received on or before Friday, April 23, 2021, to be included in the official meeting documentation. Responses to comments received will be available online at www.txdot.gov, keyword search US 281 Military Highway, once they have been prepared. If you have any general questions or concerns regarding the proposed project or virtual meeting or in-person option, please contact Atidio Rudy Garza, Project Manager, at 956-702-6339 between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. or at atidio.garza@txdot.gov. Thank you for your participation in the US 281 Military Highway virtual public meeting. Please remember to submit your comments by Friday, April 23, 2021.